welcome to the channel. I am Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're looking at the daily messages. So welcome in. I'm really excited to be here with you as always. These messages are timeless, so whenever you find them, if it resonates, definitely take it with you. If not, don't even worry about it, right? Don't stress yourself out with things that really aren't meant for us, you know. Sometimes we have to look at why we want a certain message to be true or why we're clinging on to it in a fearful way. There's a lot of water energy right now, so meaning that Neptune is in Pisces. It's governed by water, our intuition, the subtler layers, our emotions, our feelings, which can also tap into that illusionary space. So we can kind of be letting those fears or the things that we're feeling down and out about really kind of take over our energy. That's been a message that's coming up. It's also a theme in the astrology. So just be conscious, mindful. And because of that, I'm going to do a little bit of an energy clearing. I'm going to use Rosemary smudge bundle today because it really is about, you know, clearing out the negativity, which is ideal, but it also is connecting us to our dream state, processing those things a little bit better, more fluidly, not triggering as much emotion. It can feel like really overwhelming when you wake up from heavy dreams, vivid dreaming, etc. Even if they're not necessarily like nightmares or bad, or maybe you are having nightmares, I can definitely attest that it can be overwhelming. So the rosemary really helps cleanse out the energy that's not for us, not intended for our well-being. And then it helps connect us with the memory of who we are. It builds our strength when it comes to the intuitive or more subtle planes. It's my little rosemary lesson. It does kind of like spark a little bit, so hopefully we won't light anything on fire. I probably would do something like that. But it's such a nice energy. Definitely be open to receive. Grab your own smudge bundle or skip ahead, whatever works for you, whatever you feel. Okay. Whew. It has been a little bit of a heavy morning, I'm not gonna lie. I'm recording on Friday, so Friday is the day of Venus. I like this energy for us today because it really does talk about the importance of beautification of self. And that message has been coming up a lot in the readings this week as well. That we have to invest time, energy into who we are, our self-love, our self-care. Really, that is what makes us feel the strongest, the most empowered, the most grounded, etc. All the things that we need to be to show up in, the best way in our life. I recognize that can be a little bit daunting, right? Like I was mentioning before, the astrology has been a little bit heavy, especially over the past couple years. Definitely this year, there's a lot of reshuffling, realignment happening in the ethers. It's also why situations that we didn't really want to deal with or whatever are coming up. So be conscious of that. There's a lot of positive aspects in the astrology today, which I really do like. I was hearing messages as I was preparing for this reading, and I'm hearing don't let the negative energy suck you down. Don't get trapped in that illusionary space mindset where you're questioning yourself. That was the main word that I heard, is the questioning, the uncertainty about who you are, about your confidence, if you did something right or wrong, if you're justified in how you see something or not. I think this is a perfect day to remind yourself of who you are, the beauty of who you are, and why you chose the things that you chose. Sometimes they're not easy decisions. Sometimes we make a mistake. Sometimes it's, life gets the best of us. That's the reality of it, right? We should be allowed to make those mistakes as well and still be received with love and support from those around us. And when we're in more of those toxic, unhealthy relationships where, there isn't a lot of grace, there isn't a lot of understanding, there isn't flexibility, there's more blame and placing responsibility on this, that, and the other. It can be really exhausting, right? It never truly lets up. And I think sometimes, and this is definitely in the astrology today, with the sun square to Neptune, we want to be seen in a certain way, right? Like the sun is our ego, it's our sense of self. So we want people to see us in a certain way. And that's not good, bad, right, or wrong. Obviously, we have to be living the life that's in alignment with that. But we're also kind of going through that reshifting right now where it's weeding out the people that see it and don't acknowledge it, or want to make you feel less than, want to make you feel otherwise, want to keep you small and limited so you don't evolve and grow. So you're not better than them, essentially, is what I'm hearing. There's a lot of ego going on around right now. We're in Mercury retrograde. It brings up past things that we haven't been dealing with, especially when it comes to relationships, communication, etc. So be conscious, right? Like, I think that's why it's important to remain grounded in our energy. We don't want to become too porous to those situations outside of us that aren't really about us or our value or our worth. It's about that person, what they're dealing with, that situation. They have their own stuff to work out, right? If we think about how many different components and layers go into situations, relationships, the day-to-day, etc., there's a lot. And that's why it's good to give people the benefit of the doubt. It's also appropriate that when someone is showing you they are a certain way, to be able to politely exit and not feel ashamed or embarrassed if they're trying to put the blame on you or make it seem like it was all your fault or whatever. There's always two to tango, right? And I think as humans, we like to speak in our favor, right? Threshold comes up. So on the threshold, this is another message that has been coming through pretty consistently, that, that other side, that new cycle, the new beginning, whatever we're working to draw in, it hasn't come through quite yet, but it is en route. And like I said, today it's a pretty light, energetic day, I will say. The sun, our ego, like I said, it's confirming that message, the astrology, the sun in opposition to fortune point. We, our ego wants whatever, the praise, to be looked at in a certain way, to be understood. And that can be where that tension comes into play. Where it's either messing with our head, messing with our psyche, or we're making choices that aren't really honoring that new beginning, what we're drawing in, right? Yeah, I love this. So cleansing out the energy, it's super important. If you're not into energy clearing, sage bundles, smudge bundles, I should say, or energy work, that's totally cool. This can be like prayer, meditation, reading something that is inspiring, taking a few minutes to realign, taking a bath, taking an hour to yourself today, whatever it is. Again, confirming that Venus energy. It really is about making yourself feel beautiful, so you have the strength, you have the groundedness to kind of play out what is going on. Venus is still in opposition to Jupiter. And this is really talking about working with the materials in a practical way, working with what's in your environment. We see that with the Jupiter in retrograde in Taurus. Taurus is our home, money, possessions. It's our physical world that surrounds. So, you know, here's the thing, like when we're manifesting or trying to achieve a goal, trying to bring something in, there are steps to that process. And a lot of times we have to make sure that we're responsible enough to bring in that thing. You know, if something comes in too quickly, we might not appreciate it, we might not value it, we might not give it the right amount of time, energy, intention, etc. So then it's like, it's not that we don't appreciate it as much, but it feels very, you know, it's like getting the next thing, instant gratification. I want. And yes, things are great. I love it. I love beautiful things. But I think there is this energy of, you know, we want to make sure that when we get in what we want, we can keep it. That's the key, that we can keep it, right? That we're not gonna self-sabotage, that we're not gonna implode, or like I said, not treat it with the tender, loving care that it deserves, that TLC, right? Okay. So today is about clearing out the energy, becoming a little bit more structured. I'm hearing this though through that lens of grace. This is not about shaming or judging. This is about, you know, just kind of cleaning things up. Needing to not do much of anything, needing to give yourself extra time and space. I also like this message because it's busy. It's a busy time of year, right? So we get a little bit of a break today. And it's a break in the way, like I said, of just like feeling good about who you are, especially at the times, at the moments where we feel ourselves kind of questioning our worth, our value. That is a perfect time, as soon as you're aware of it, to like do something you love to do. You know, take that time out, read that thing, you know, get in touch with your spirit, with your authentic self, with who you are. However that vibes with you, it's gonna actually connect you a lot more with your intuition. And I think that's the point. Right? So we're going into this time where we are going to be interacting, engaging, family, friends, you know, friends of friends, etc. And so I think that we have to be really clear going into these situations with these people, especially people that, I don't know, just kind of bring you down, bring you into a more low vibey space. I feel like Spirit does have some messages, and I feel like cleansing or investing in yourself today is definitely going to help those things come through. It's going to give you that clear sight that you need. So, that's nice. It's a happy Friday, right? The weekend. Thank goodness. All right, let's see what's up in the tarot. Okay, yeah, Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. It's the feminine embodiment of taking care of your home, nurture. Taurus is ruled by Venus as well. So again, this is like taking care of home, taking care of family, taking care of what you have to do, but from that very maternal instinct component. It doesn't matter what gender you are, you know, we all have to clean up after ourselves. Okay. Ten of Swords, not wanting to get back into the same cycles. I think that there is a lot of reflection today, like I said, of the past, of what has happened. And I think, you know, it's interesting what I'm hearing with this energy for you is it's like, you're on the other side of it. And I don't think you see this Nine of Cups wish fulfillment coming in 444 on the clock. Boom. I love that. That's protection from our angels, spirit guides, crossed over loved ones. It's also the number of grounding and stability, right? The four corners, the four directions. There's so many different, ways that 4 is pretty magical. So it's like knowing you're safe and you're protected. I feel like you keep focusing on the past. That's what I'm seeing with this 10 of Swords. It's like, it's almost like the past, the BS is blocking what's on the other side. I don't think this is anything that you need to be doing, because this is going to come in at the right time. So it's not saying like, shame on you for blocking, It's hard. Transition is hard, especially when we go through a really difficult time. It's hard not to think about the past. It's hard not to think about those things. I hear this more as Spirit is saying, like, yes, do whatever processing you need, grieve, release, let go. But know this is not the end of the story. Know that 10 of Swords, the backstabbing, the betrayal, the people, places, and things that didn't honor you, that didn't support you, that really did make it more difficult to move through certain things, don't let that become the main point, the main focus. There is this call to rest a little bit. You might be doing too many things. With that 4 of Swords, take some time out, take a little bit of a nap, nap time, power nap if you must, meditate. That's a really great way to reset without the nap. And I think that this is more of a day of being with yourself, with the Virgo energy. I feel like things have been very chaotic, and so there's not enough withdrawal. There's not enough time, energy spent on, I need to rest, I need to relax, I need to not have any distractions, turning off the technology, the social media, whatever you got to do just to be with yourself. Because this is actually going to bring in that 9 of Cups a little bit more quickly. I do feel like this 9 of Cups, you might receive this during retrograde, during the end of retrograde is what I'm hearing. But I feel like it doesn't really fully open until the beginning of the year. Maybe this is a New Year's Eve surprise. That would be fun. I love New Year's Eve. But it's coming. It's coming. This is saying don't get caught up in the chaos. Don't get caught up in the drama and the BS. You don't need it. It's making you go back to this place that just doesn't serve you any longer. What's happened is what happened. At some point, we have to choose to move forward, right? We can't keep sitting in the blame, in the hurt, in the pain. And this, again, has been a theme this week. That doom, that gloom, that 3 of Swords energy, etc. Spirit's asking you to soften. 9 of Wands. You're almost there. 9, the next step is the 10, 4 of Cups. Ugh, how boring. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the 4 of Cups is when we just get too sucked into that 10 of Swords energy. I don't know. I think this is more about and going back to that wellness or that ability to ground in yourself. It's really protecting your energy on all fronts. People you interact with today, what you let yourself think about, where, what are you feeding is what I'm hearing. And really what we're supposed to be feeding today is feeling good about ourselves, giving ourselves love, care where we need it, feeling like we're, beautiful, putting our best foot forward, maybe taking a little extra time to get ready. I'm saying that to me, because we know what's up. I think this is this 4 of Cups, Queen of Cups energy. We know what this is. We know what the past has been. We understand the path that is unfolding. It just makes it more annoying when we're not, when we're on our own timeline. And sometimes time just takes a little bit longer. All right, I'm gonna pull one more on this and then we'll close out with it. Okay, here we go. Double confirmation on that intuition, tapping into our high priestess energy. You know, she does sit at the door between the physical and the spiritual world. She is the keeper of secrets, of those, you know, mysteries of life, the magic, the beauty, the things that we often forget about on the practical level, on the physical plane is what I want to say, right? And not throwing shade to it. I personally think that we are way more expansive and powerful than what we even know. What do they say? We only use like 10% of our brain power. The amount of abundance and fulfillment and life that we could live, the more we refine our consciousness, our intuition, those more subtle layers of life. That's really what it's about. You know, I mean, obviously we can choose or not. You know, our intuition will try to speak to us at all times. We don't have to listen, right? We don't have to listen, but it makes it easier if we do. So, with that being said, there's still some changes that we're hammering out that might not feel very comfortable. I like this message of everydayness. This is, you know, because there is that practical component, boring component. Like, I think there is a lot of magic in life. I think we can find it in every moment. That's my disclaimer. But we're also living in the mundane, the daily grunt and grind, right? So it might not even feel like there's a lot going on in our physical world, or we just did the same schedule and nothing really happened. But that's where that like energetic component comes into play. And so when we have our daily living in this kind of systemized order way of functioning, it gives us more space to open up to that intuition, what we need to see, sense, and feel, because those messages are coming through. I feel like you're seeing them. Synchronicity, it's, you know, you're getting enough of thumbs up, those hints along your path to know that you're going in the right direction. It's the belief component. It's letting the naysayers, the people who, you know, didn't support you, haven't been supporting you, it's not letting them have the power of your mind, your body, your soul. Yeah, but it is hard, right? The moon makes it hard. The moon is our feeling, our emotion. The moon is actually, okay. Well, so let me think. Okay, so it's interesting because the moon is square to the North Node and to Chiron. So those are all about our evolution, our growth, making sure that we are not slipping back into old karma that's bettering ourselves, essentially. Chiron's the wound healer. The North Node is the path, our life path, like what we should be ascribing towards. And with it being square to the moon, it can make us feel really emotional about the work that we have to do. But the moon is also trying to Uranus, which is in retrograde. And that is like, the better we feel about ourselves, the more we're going to be able to make those changes from a place of confidence and security versus that space of like uncertainty. Or maybe they were right. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not, whatever we're saying. You know, this is like kind of being more practical, thinking through the process, not letting, oh my gosh, I used the same deck. That's fine. It works. I don't know. It's like thinking everything through, right? Like not letting the emotions overwhelm. Again, feel your feelings, process them, get them out, spend time, like I said, in nature, taking a walk, you know, really kind of centering yourself, doing a meditation, doing a yoga, doing a breathing technique. All those things bring balance and harmony nature, getting outside, taking a walk, walking barefoot if it's not super cold where you live. Those are all super easy ways to ground immediately, you know, just to recenter our body, mind, and soul. And it's not that woohoo to do if that's not your vibe. So yeah, all right. I hope this helps. Definitely just focus on yourself today. You deserve it. You need it. It's going to empower you. It's going to give you more clarity, more insight, and understanding. I feel like there's some investment in the chaos and what's around you, and you don't really need to be a part of it. Even if people try to pull you in, just have your excuse, have your, you know, thanks, but I gotta go. I got an appointment with myself. All right, guys. I hope that helps. I'm sending all the love and blessings your way. Have a happy Friday. Thank you for the love and support always.